Welcome back to the Red Dirt Road podcast. I'm your host, Marshall Farnsworth, here with Alex Breitenbach. We are talking about The Story of My Life by Kix Brooks. How's it going?
Yeah. It's going fine. How about you?
Good. We were just talking about it before the show. I'm actually at my mom's house right now. We are in the process of moving, in the middle of moving. So first podcast that I'm doing, not at the home base at my apartment. So
It's nice. On location. I like it.
shouldn't be much different, but
Yeah.
there were some problems. We were supposed to have a podcast last week, and then we were stuck, didn't have the Wi-Fi and moving around. So
Well, you got logged out of Zoom, didn't you?
I did. I didn't have my password book and stuff, but I got it now. So
All right. Nice.
real quick before we get into the song, there are some country music albums that just came out that just give me anything that you want to say about these. Not like a breakdown, just anything that stands out. I saw Rascal Flatts, which is kind of big because I think this might be their last album.
Yeah.
Luke Bryan, big fan, or you're a big fan. John Party. John Party had a cover album, and then Morgan Wallen, a guy who I like, just had a single. Any takeaways from those?
Well, I gotta say, if any of y'all our listeners are Rascal Flatts fans, that is definitely not an album to miss because this is going to be their last album. So I've heard. I had originally heard that it was supposed to accompany the big farewell tour that was supposed to happen this year, and then ultimately back in March they decided to cancel all of the summer dates and all the fall dates. So that I don't know if that's gone, or if that's if the album is there goodbye, or if they're gonna actually end up doing a farewell tour to accompany it. I really wish they would, but I have no idea at this point.
Yeah, we'll see about next year. I've listened to a little bit from each of those three albums, and then I listened to the Morgan Wallen song.
Nice.
So this song, The Story of My Life, I have a feeling this will be pretty quick. It's an album cut from an album that did not, it's kind of old and wasn't very successful. So not a whole lot about the song, but it was written by Brooks and a guy named Roger Murrah. I think that's how you say his name, which I actually found out he has written or co-written 10 number one hits, including a song I really like, I'm in a Hurry and Don't Know Why by Alabama. Great song. This guy actually co-written that song. So the breakdown of the song, it's got like a slow guitar and harmonica intro, about 18 seconds.
Yeah.
And then it kind of talks about this guy that he lives in a small town. He's not able to accomplish his dreams because he lives in this small town. He says, that's the story of my life. And he says he has to leave his girlfriend, unfortunately, because he's leaving town. I guess she can't come with him. The chorus basically says that he's excited that he leaves town, calls back home every now and then, and goes into a small guitar breakdown. The second verse says that he misses town. He goes back, and then he finds his girlfriend, or his ex-lover or whatever, is now married. And he says he can't love another man's wife, but he still loves her. And then there's a guitar breakdown for a minute to end the song, and he just repeats the name of the song, Story of My Life. So what do you think about this?
I did not like it at all. I mean, just right off the bat, I got to say, I think the only thing that I enjoyed about this song was the little harmonica breakdown right in the beginning. I gotta say that's it. I mean,
harmonica. If you don't look close enough, you'll miss it. So that is one of the better parts.
Yeah,
of the
it's
song.
I was really excited about that because that definitely kind of had that like sort of Bayou or Mississippi Delta sort of vibe from it. And that gave it a sort of good vibe. I didn't really like the melody and the backtrack to it. I thought that was kind of like monotonous. It wasn't very Like, the song is obviously not meant to be upbeat, but I thought that they could have done a little bit of a better job with just the instrumentation. Aside from the harmonica was good. Um, I gotta say though, the lyrics were decent. I did enjoy that. It had a good story to it, but for me, it kind of felt like it was a little bit rushed. Like it just didn't have the good vibe, and it's understandable to think that this in the album that it was. I think you said the album that it accompanied didn't do so well originally. Is that what you
Yeah.
said? Yeah.
Yeah, it's to me, I would describe it as like an album cut off an album that didn't do well. So
Yeah. Yeah, because to me, what this sounded like was honestly a song that you'd play in the middle of a concert just to kill time. Because that's, I don't know, that's just the sort of vibe that it felt like. Middle of the concert, you've had your big 3 or 4 songs, and now you're just like trying to keep people entertained. And you play this little song right here, and I mean, it okay. It's not horrible. It's decent. Don't get me wrong.
this
Like
is
it, I just
this is how I would
didn't.
describe this song. This is
Yeah,
the notes I wrote. It's just a stinker. It's just a terrible song.
yeah,
There's not
exactly.
much good I could put about the song. I actually forgot, or I didn't forget about the harmonica, but because I talked about it at the beginning, but it was so small, I didn't even rate it as a good thing because it was just such a small little part. The
I
only
mean,
thing I put that was good, I thought where it kind of slows down and says, "That's the story of my life." I thought maybe that had potential because, like, all right, but that was about it. I thought the
yeah,
other parts of it where he's describing his life, this is what I wrote. That's a bad song, not much good about it. It's depressing, it's uninspiring. This guy, he leaves town and then he just comes back and all he finds is that his girlfriend's married. Like that's it. Like
jeez,
that's
yeah,
not that's not
Y-
good.
yeah. There's no arc there.
There's
There's no
nothing good.
arc. There's no like. I mean, I get it. Some
It
songs are
just
meant.
it
Yeah,
all it did was end at that his girlfriend is now married to another man and that's the story of his life. It's like that's the story of your life. Like there was no like he didn't leave town and go back in his own. It was just that's my life. Don't know if he just stayed there or he's that's his life is I guess just not good. Nothing good about that.
I'll tell you, that's a pretty damn sad story. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if that's the story of your life, but I I don't know. I mean, some
It's
songs are meant to be depressing and sad, but this song itself for me did not even fit that vibe. It was just the melody did not match the story or the arc to it. And I did not really like this song.
it's
Although I think
really
that
it's really like a junior varsity version of There's a Telephone Ringing. It's almost
yes,
like they just took that and they're like, okay, that song's a
e-
little bit better. They put that song earlier on in the album. They're like, all right, we
exactly.
need to do that and kind of replicate it. And they just made this, which is does the song doesn't sound at all like it, except for that's the same kind of storyline.
Yeah, yeah,
It's almost
same.
exactly the same. The guy leaves and he calls back and the girl is gone or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I don't like about a lot of some artists, and it's not everybody, but there's always going to be one artist or two, like every artist that has an album where they have 3 or 4 unbelievably amazing songs on this album, and then just the fifth and sixth one are just flat out terrible. Like it honestly leaves you wondering what happened, because like they were doing so well, and
Yeah.
then they follow it up with this after all of those amazing songs that we listened to. And I mean, even on this album, like, this debut album for Kix Brooks, it didn't do very well, but it still had some really good, amazing writing, great songs on it, that I think. And but this is just not like
It's not
this
good.
seems like it was rushed, didn't have a lot of effort behind it. Let's just copy the storyline for There's a Telephone Ringing. Let's put a snazzy harmonica in the beginning. That's the only difference. And then,
I wish this song was just a harmonica solo. That would make
yeah,
it 10 times better.
exactly. Like, I mean, some people you got to get creative. Like there's one time, like there's certain parts of like that, not necessarily Kix Brooks, but like Zach Brown Band and other artists that do, like, even if they have, like, they run out of material that they're writing like actual songs with words in them, they just do instrumental cuts, like, of just them jamming, and it's actually pretty cool. But like I think this is the part where you have to get a little creative, and I mean,
We're starting to get into, because I listened to this album all the way through before, didn't think it was good, but we're starting to get into the really not so great parts of the album. We had the early part, Highways and Heartaches. There's a Telephone Ringing, Way Up North around Shreveport, some okay ones, and then you get into The River and this song, and She Does the Walk On By, and now it's like, okay, these ones are not as good.
Yeah, like I'll admit, like the last great song for me was She Does the Walk On By. I thought that was a really great song off this album.
I didn't think that one was very good, but baby When Your Heart Breaks Down, that's a good one. They slide that one in there. That's actually an old one that he had. That one charted, actually, so that one wasn't that was good, pretty good one.
Well, and Baby When Your Heart Breaks Down, I'll give that credit too, because that was also another great song. But like I mean, even that, like, they had made so much progress. Like, I had felt the album building, and I just thought it was gonna just keep going and then just end in this unbelievable climax. But I mean, I was a little disappointed by this song, not gonna lie.
Not good.
No, not good.
Yeah, I had listened to the song about 5 times, and like it just was so boring and bland that I was like, what even is this song? I had to finally study it and like listen to the lyrics to realize, like, oh, this is the same. There's a Telephone Ringing. That's basically the same song, and it's just not good.
Well, the one thing that I remember thinking after listening to it is I just remember thinking, like, what, that's it? Like, that's the end of the song? Like, is that all that there is? I mean, because, like, for me, I would have enjoyed it if it at least, that was one movement. Maybe it's a long, like, progressive song that, has one movement. Like, that would be fine. If the first movement's trash and then they get into something new, like, that'd be okay. But like,
it didn't end on a high note or on a kind of mid-tier note. It was just that's the story of his life. It's like, that's it. That's not
pretty damn sad story.
That's pretty sad. So that is it for the Red Dirt Road podcast today. Signing off, Marshall Farnsworth here.